I am leaving Burton, Ohio. I can never just, it seems like at least once a week there's controversy. Something happens. So I left last night from the Meadows. I said, you know what? I'm going to drive to the fair. I'm going to have a good night's sleep. Just relax. Wake up in the morning refreshed. Grab a coffee somewhere. Go to the fair. Cayuga County Fair, I think. I'm sure I pronounced it wrong. In Burton, Ohio. So I'm getting close to Burton. I'm a little tired. It's like 8 o'clock at night, right? I've been racing all day. And yesterday I went out to look at the babies for you guys. No, it wasn't 8. It was closer to 10. I went out and looked at the babies for you guys. Sent 3 videos out. Pretty impressive looking youngsters. So I'm feeling good. Go on my app. Hotels close to me. I'm sure I heard it chuckle. No. There'll be no hotels close to you. You are in the heart of Amish country. No hotels. No, I'll tell you what about. I'll tell you what. This town, neighbors. One has Pence. One has Trump. Trump and Pence. The other one has Biden and Harris, and they're literally neighbors across the road. Businesses. It's a powder keg here. I just went by the one property had Trump and Pence and big spray painted no across it, and the property beside it had Biden Harris. It's like, are you kidding me? These guys are gonna kill each other come November 4th. I'm glad the fair was today and not in the middle of November. Wowzers! Like a lot of the towns you'll go through. Here's another Trump Pence sign, and I'm not getting into it. I don't care. I mean, I'm here, but you'll drive through these towns and they're all Trump or they're all Biden. I haven't seen a mix like this ever. 2 giant signs right here: Trump, Biden right after it. It's a powder keg. Good for them. So anyway, I go into this town, Burton, Ohio. No hotels, nothing. Walmart wasn't even open. I couldn't buy a tent. There's nothing. So I go. Hotels clicks up 10, 12 miles away, 9 miles away. There's a resort. And you can tell this resort, I'll tell you, it's immense. Punderson Resort. So it was in the next town over. I'm not sure maybe it's called Punderson. I have no idea. But when you drive onto the property, it is 1.2 miles to the hotel, to the resort hotel from the road. That's how big this property is. This is the only hotel around. It's like the other 2 places that were close, I wouldn't let my dog stay in. The Falls Inn. Okay, yeah, the Falls Inn. No, I'm good. I'll sleep in my car. How's that? So I go to the resort. Guy said it's $185 a night. At this point, it's 11:15. I'll take anything. Guy said, you're just staying here. He said, I'll make it 120. Well, that's very nice, very kind of you. So I stay there overnight. It's a nice place. Get up, go to the fair, go through this little town. Maybe it was Burton, I'm not sure. All these little towns are like right on top of each other. So I'm in this little town. They got a beautiful little cafe. They're lined out the door, so it's like a little bit of what older people would call a hippie cafe. There's lots of different latte types, probably right up my alley. So I'm looking at the board and I get a drink and I go to the fair 20 minutes before it starts, a half an hour. A nice little fair. Big, huge grandstand as you drive in. I don't know how to pronounce it, Cayuga or whatever, County Fair. Beautiful little place. Another good day of racing for us. I wanted to watch the other 2 race at Hanover before I said a word about, I guess I could have waited for Sweet Ambitions. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes to Columbus from here. So, I guess I could have waited for Sweet Ambitions. I didn't. Good luck to Mary. Hope she races good. I guess I'll backtrack. First, I watched Trafalgar just get beat. She looked like a winner coming out of the turn. That other filly fought back. I saw James get away 4th. I'm like, but it worked out good. She was 2nd, so she raced good. 2nd, beat a half length, 57. Raced very well. Could have used a sprinkling of the Eye of the Tiger, the head of the lane, but nevertheless raced well. The filly that beat her's no joke. I think she's probably one of the leaders in the grassroots division. So a good race from her. I didn't get to race Need Your Opinion or watch Need Your Opinion, but somebody said she raced great. Finished second in 56. Good for her. Another great day at the Sire Stakes, the grassroots. Oh, there's a big cookout. These people are weird. The only reason I say that, we're in the middle of a pandemic and I can't go anywhere without parties and cookouts, and I guess they're out in the middle of nowhere. What are you gonna do? There's my wife. Sorry, honey. I will call you back. What's going on there? Tons of horses and carriages everywhere. I'm gonna post it on Facebook. We were driving through town and I couldn't understand, like, what is going on here? It's like 6, 7 cars lined up. Everybody's going like 10. I look up, horse and carriage at the front end. I noticed because there's one coming this way with about 7 cars behind him going this way. So we are in the heart of Amish country, or close to it, I guess, close enough to it. We're at least a carriage ride away from it if we're not in it. Anyway, the fair was great. We raced Desperado. Desperado was a little flat, but he raced like 5 days ago. And the times were hard to gauge today. It felt like we were working hard. Even in Miss Meringue's race, 2:08 or something, but she raced good. You could tell with Miss Meringue, she wasn't quite as snappy, quite as lively as she was 5 days ago or 6 days ago. She raced good, got beat a snout at the wire. She is figuring it out, and handy. You see her bust around that first turn. She's getting to do her work very, very well. I think she's going to be a very impressive 3-year-old. It's hard for people to extrapolate and say, oh, well, she only raced in the fairs. But you don't understand. You got a big, powerful filly like this that is plying her trade and learning how to do it well. It's like watching a kid in the minors. Some of them you can tell right away are going to make it to the majors, and other ones they just have to grind along, and they'll get there. And I think that's where we're at with Miss Meringue. I was happy with her again today. Would have been happier standing in the winner's circle. She raced good. Desperado, tired, kind of a flat, dull mile, but did his work. Well and Down race good. Now, I said to Jason, she did everything so good today. She wasn't bully at the gate. I don't want to leave with this filly. God knows what'll happen if we ever bust her out of there. It could be a mess forever. So we just let her float off the gate. A very James-worthy drive. Float off the gate. Got away 5th. And when I started her up, I was coming with her. And I'm sure if Kurt Sugg doesn't come out underneath me and shove me 3 deep. Now, I guess that's unfair. It's not like he shoved me 3 deep. He came out when I was coming 100. I wasn't going to double her up and stack her up. I just let her roll out 3 wide. We really paced the last half, and she tried. She did everything right, never put a step in, just raced really, really well. Very impressed and proud of Well and Down and how far she's come as a racehorse. That's 6 out of 7 in the top 3. Just has turned into a really, really nice filly. 3 wins, 3 thirds, and 7 starts. I think the other one was a 4th or 5th, maybe. I don't know. But she's raced very, very well this year. So that was Desperado. A little disappointed, but he did his work. Finished 5th. Well and Down. Miss Meringue was great, and then Compass Rose DC. Oh, man. Now, for those of you who paying close attention, she's back in to go in Pennsylvania on Wednesday. So I didn't really want to risk putting her on the run. What happens if she gets run into? What happens if she makes a break? Do they scratch her? Guarantee you they do in Ontario, but I don't know if they do in Pennsylvania. Even Tim wasn't sure. He said, well, she was eligible at the time of entry. I think she's okay, but I wasn't going to push the envelope there. I just let her fall off the screen. Get away 5th. If I had room down the backstretch and there was room to drive right through the inside, but I'm like, I can't do that. I know what I would do if somebody drove through the inside of me halfway down the backstretch. I'm not taking any chances. Well, it looks like a cool place. I wish I was a little more hungry. Wow. I don't know what community this is, but it's right on the water. It's beautiful here. So I guess the resort is kind of handy. It's about 10 minutes from here. If you want to have a real cool kind of getaway with your family, Punderson Resorts, or Punderson Resort in Ohio is really nice. And I don't know where all this water came from, but this community, whatever it is right here, is really, really nice. Wow, there's boats and everything out there. Anyway, and then, so Compass Rose DC was absolutely flying. You're not going to get a trotter go any faster on a fair track than she was the last quarter of a mile. She raced very, very good. Very pleased with Compass Rose DC. Little heads up, if she's as sharp on Wednesday, which I assume she will be, she'll give them all they want, 9-hole or otherwise, at the Meadows racetrack. Race 13. She's sharp right now, this filly. Certainly didn't get hurt today. And then Momo come out with a real, what I would call a Racing Hill trip. Luke was much better off being locked in the other day in 2 minutes than he was popping out of the 2-hole in 2, whatever she went. They were over the half in 5. They must have went a mile in 2.5, 2.6. But I had said to, I was on this road last night. I had said to Jason after, I said, here's a multiple stakes winning filly, paced in 55 as a 2-year-old with 2 fair wins. She might be worth something to somebody. Is she going to come back good at 3? You guys have known I've preached and preached and preached and preached. Work ethic, attitude. These are 2 of the staples of any good horse. Roy Hill, we just sold him the other day. Gone. I don't think we'll be in a hurry to buy any more Racing Hills. Listen, there might be some good Racing Hills out there. Somebody might be there saying, I got a Racing Hill I like. Good for you. I had 2 I did not. Now the Grey Filly's a Racing Hill, so we'll get a good look at her over the next 3 or 4 starts and make a determination of how we feel about her. Qualifier was good. Let's see how she does at the races. But as for Momo, little disappointed in Momo today. Yes, she's back in 5 days. Yes, she won the other day in 2 minutes and she got beat today. We can make excuses for Momo all day long. There isn't anybody out there that can watch the race today and say, well, yeah, she had an excuse. Did she? I'd like to know what that is. Momo just threw in a bit of a clunker. So, truthfully speaking, is she going to come back and be a Buckeye or Sire Stakes filly at 3? I can't draw that plan up. I don't know how that's going to work. So, it might be worth looking at selling Momo in the coming weeks. And I know there's going to be people out there that say, you're just selling all these horses. We're losing money on them. Okay. You can keep them. Stay involved and watch the water level rise. I just, we're going to buy horses. Some are going to be good. Some are going to be bad. But how we manage them, I felt a little upset the other day when it came to Walk on the Moon. And here's a horse that got something stuck in his eye last night. The vet called me. He had to go to the university and get his eye looked at. That's probably going to be a couple of dollars. And last week, I felt, and there's going to be people that say, oh, you mismanaged that colt. Sure, it's easy to say that we mismanaged a horse after it's done. Wonderfully easy. Try and manage 100 horses and tell me how you make out. There's going to be some that work out well. There's going to be some that don't. There's lots of people that say, I don't want to race at the fairs. Miss Meringue's got almost 19,000 made at the fair. Now, granted, give 64. We also got a filly racing in the Sire Stakes tomorrow for 300 that we gave 6 for. Well and Down's got, 17,000, 18,000 made? 6 for her. It's not always a loss. You're not going to lose on all of them. Some of them are going to be okay. But what you do with the ones that are just a tick below okay, make a big difference. A lot of our clients upset that we sold Knockdown Dragout last week. Her return to the races was not as rosy as everybody thought it would be, I don't think. Because she's not a good horse. She's decided she doesn't want to be a good horse. So let her be a bad horse in somebody else's barn. We're not always going to do, there's going to be horses that we sell that go forward. Real Willie has made one of our more analytical clients made a wonderful observation that Real Willie has done great since we lost him. It happens. There's going to be horses that go forward, but there's going to be lots that don't. And I think if you look at the go forward column against the not go forward column, I think we're well on the right side of that. So, when it comes to Momo, I would suggest maybe we look at selling her. Somebody's going to want her. I mean, as I said, she's won a couple of fairs. She's done okay. She showed some talent. She paced 55 or 56 at Northfield. But is she a stake filly? Come on. You don't really need to ask me that question. You know the answer. And when it comes to Well and Down, I think this is a filly that's got tons of speed. She's going to grow into herself. She's learning all the time, but she uses the tools at her disposal. Something that Momo doesn't do. Something that Roy Hill doesn't do. Didn't do. Likely won't do. Momo could be a better horse. She chooses to be a mediocre horse. There is talent there. same as Inland Beach. Somebody said, oh, she ran the other day. Yeah, don't kid yourself. Inland Beach is a decent filly. She's going to do that guy some good. That Botter, if he leaves her up here, she'll do some good. And if he takes her down to the Nova Scotia where he's from, she'll do some real good. But she'll be a good racehorse for him, and she was worth more than we got for her. So, enough of the rambling. We had a good day today. I was very, very impressed with most everybody that raced. Yeah, and somebody can make an argument. Why don't you get rid of Desperado? You can make an argument for that. I can't. You're going to win the argument if you say we should get rid of him. But I just think he's a better horse than he shows, and he does feel like he puts out. He just felt like he was flat today. There's a horse that's won already in 2 minutes in a fair. Paced him 57 in a fair. But he also paced him 2.7 at Northfield. So you might have me there. But for now, I'm going to stay the course with Desperado. Mostly because I want to. Now, is it the proper time now to sell these horses? I think Momo, with a fair left and a Buckeye left, could be interesting to somebody out there. We might get 12 or 13,000 for a Momo. She's decently bred. People might look at her also and say, geez, there might be a breeding potential there. But for me, Momo's just a underachiever. She could be a better 3-year-old, but I just don't think she's a stake caliber filly. So it makes more sense for us to maybe move on with Momo than it does to stay the course. We'll think on it, but keep in mind, these stake races are up and coming very, very soon. So we're going to lose our window of opportunity in that regard. So with that said, Compass Rose DC, A+. Miss Meringue, A+ again. She tried her heart out, fought hard right to the wire. I think the only thing that beat her was 5 days. She was back in 5 days. So that was Miss Meringue, well and down, raced her heart out again, finished third. A very lackluster performance for Desperado and for Momo. And there's nothing saying we have to sell Momo, but I suspect there's a number of our clients out there that think maybe it's time to move Momo along. So, that's my 2 cents about today. Trafalgar raced good. Need Your Opinion apparently raced really, really well. Gotta watch one more filly here later on at Flamborough Downs. First start back after the virus with no hobbles on for our girl Sweet Ambitions. And that'll do it. It's Saturday now. I'm driving down the road. I suppose we can do if you start my videos. Wouldn't be that hard to do. Anyway, it's Saturday. It's a beautiful day here. I got a 2-hour and 13-minute drive ahead of me. Might be time to do some videos. We'll talk to you guys soon. Maybe real soon. Take care.